What's up, guys, and welcome back to Mid-Pack Mania. A new episode for you guys. We're doing something a little bit different for you. We don't always have go-kart racing, so got to be a little bit creative. And today we just picked up a new Coleman 100cc mini bike. It's not going to be mini for very long. I'm not going to say mighty bike because that'd be a little bit cliche, but maybe beefy bike or something like that. So anyways, we're getting that unloaded. Me, Courtney, gonna head over into the shop. Yeah, I know I need to mow. And get this thing built up down to how it's supposed to be built, and then we're gonna start throwing on the upgrades from there. So stay tuned. All right, so I think we got everything. We just had to put on the handlebars there. They were already wired up, and then had to put the front wheel on. But aside from that, kickstand's already on there. Get that down. It needs oil and it needs gas. We have one of those two things. So we may have to drain some gas out of one of the go-karts, but we will not be denied today. Oh, gotta put on this warped fender, which goes on the front there, I think, but look at that. Isn't that nice quality? Beautiful. So we're gonna, we might as well just put this on first. Then we're gonna get it fired up for the break-in. All right, so we got it all finished up. It's ready for a test drive. My wife Courtney's gonna end up taking it. Go ahead, give it a pull start. Let's see if it'll start up. These things start really nice. Go take a lap, let's see. So we ended up bringing the mini bike out to my parents' house because we have a little bit more room to kind of test drive it, and then we're going to end up building the motor out there in the shop. So I'm going to have Sammy go for a little test drive on this and test it out before we start tearing into it. There you go, have at it. That's Ryder. Thing sucks, huh? We're about to hot rod that. It's not gonna suck for long. So we're gonna head out to the shop, get that motor off, get the new motor built, throw it on there, and it's soon gonna be the Hemi bike. So just a quick disclaimer, this isn't really a how-to video on how to build a hot rod mini bike. This is more or less just documenting our build. There may be some how-to stuff here and there, but if you're looking for an in-depth build on one of these, I would check out Redbeard's Garage, another YouTube channel. He does all kinds of mini bike stuff. For us, you can just watch along. There may be some how-to here and there, but it's mainly just showing you guys what we're going through and what the bike's starting at to what it finishes at. The reason we're calling it a Hemi bike is because we're going to be putting a Hemi Predator motor on there. It's a Gen 2, different than the Gen 1 and Gen 3. The Hemi ones have a much higher compression rate. If you don't know how to tell if you have a Hemi or not, just look at the valve cover here. So if you just check it out, if it's a square valve cover, it's a Hemi. If it's rounded, it's not. It's a Gen 1 or a Gen 3. So Sammy's working on getting that old motor off. I'm working on the new one. So we got a cam, a new clutch, a carburetor, and I'll probably put different springs in it. And then we're just gonna run the same gas tank, and I gotta see if we have a header that'll fit on there, because that's really the main thing. Otherwise we're gonna have to run this one for now until we get one that fits. But yeah, tearing into the motor. So working on putting this cam in. These little dots right here need to line up, and that's how you get your timing right. Just like that right there. And you take this and you literally just lift it out, get your new cam, your little dot right there, Set it in. It's a little bit tricky because it's kind of curved. See, that's off. That's not right. And there you go. You want to make sure you torque those down before you actually go riding. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you there. Getting these bolts off, we got the throttle linkage and everything undone. So this motor's about to come off, but we got to get the motor loose before we can pull the clutch and before we can pull the chain. So that's all that is. Now we're gonna have to drill because the mounts on the Hemi are different than what that is. So we're gonna get it on there, get our marks, and get this one mounted up, and then we'll see if we can get it fired up. After that, we got to figure out the throttle situation, how we're gonna fix that. But aside from that, it's pretty much ready to go. I don't know if we're gonna have enough room on this.
They couldn't pull it down and let him run it. They got 2 motors built.
Once we put the gas tank. Oh, and look at that. We're gonna barely have enough room on this here. So we got the motor on here. We're seeing if we can we got one bolt in, and we might luck out. Oh, it drops in. The front ones line up.
Should line up.
The back one, no, maybe not. The only problem is that sticks out a ways. So we'll have to see if we need to really drill it or not, and then see if the chain's gonna line up with the clutch. We're gonna have to get a longer chain as it is, I think. So still got a few adjustments to make. So with the clutch, we're literally like 1 length too short, but the valve cover is hitting this little bolt right here. So hopefully if we pull that off, it'll give us what we need and still have the slightest bit of slack to where the chain fits just right. So we're gonna take that off and hopefully it fixes it. There we go. All right, let's see. Look at there. May not even have to adjust, and then we can just slide this actually forward because we still got a good amount of slack. And these chains that come on here are really stretchy, so it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just gonna have to make sure that this is properly aligned with this, and we're good to go. These actually fit straight down into those pre-made bolts perfectly with room to slide back and forth. So if we ever change the gear or anything on there, then it's already ready to be shifting back and forth. So everything is going way too smooth right now. I'm waiting for something to really mess up to where we're not able to finish, but so far it's looking good. So we got the motor all, it's not tight, but we got it mounted down where it should be. Now it's figuring out the throttle system. I think we need to get a stronger return spring. We're gonna have to modify this to go here and get rid of, because we don't have the governor anymore. We did pull the governor out. I forgot to mention that earlier, I think. The governor's gone, and then we got to get the throttle line hooked back up into there. So a little bit of modification, and then the build's pretty much done. We're just trying to get the throttle linkage all right on this. It was kind of a puzzle to get done because since we pulled the governor, it's like a whole different setup. So shout out once again to Redbeard's Garage for showing us how to do this properly. Because the throttle, you want the throttle to work right to where you get full throttle all the time and it doesn't break or pop out. So we're working on that right now. Hopefully get this bend in it properly. Drilling this in to get this throttle linkage to set in there. Let's check that and see. Oh, that could be perfect, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that. That's perfect. You don't want it to be too big because you don't want any play with the throttle. So That's gonna be perfect. So now we need to build a bend in this to where it goes down, and then it won't come out as you're riding. So we got our hole drilled. It looks like it's fine. It's hitting the idle. When it's full throttle, it's hitting full throttle on the deal. So a good way you can check before you set your return spring, just take the one that was already on there, hit the throttle, Sammy, and you can see, go ahead, let it go. It's going both ways, just perfect. So now what you got to do is take this, bend it out, so then there's no way for the linkage to pop out whenever you're riding, and your linkage is set. You just got to set your return spring after that. All right, so we got it all set. We ended up just running the return spring up there to that bolt, so it holds in place. Comes back, everything seems to be working fine. So we're gonna throw oil in it, fire it up for the first time, get a little break-in going. Unfortunately, we didn't have a header that would fit, so for now we're gonna be a little bit restricted on this until we get one that goes out and fits for a mini bike. But I mean, for now and running it, should run just fine. So like I said, we're gonna get oil in it, fire up. Are you excited?
Ready.
So we had to modify this fender a little bit. We cut it out so the chain didn't hit. That should be good to go. Put the clutch on backwards so it lined up perfectly with the sprocket back there. And now gonna throw in some oil for the break-in. And you gotta drain this oil out, put fresh oil in, and you're ready to ride. So we ran into a little problem. How I told you guys the clutch had to go on backwards so it lined up. Well, didn't work out that way. So we flipped it back this way, front, and it worked out perfect. So who would have known? Before we put it on there, it looked like it was gonna be way too far out, but now it's working out perfect. So we had to flip that back, lock the clutch back down. We already have the oil in. We're gonna fire it up. All right, so we got everything together. Hopefully everything's correct. We're gonna give it a fire for the first time. We got the first batch of oil in there. Get a nice break-in going, switch the oil out, put the new one in, and we're gonna go ride. But for now, we'll see if this thing even starts up after we did the cam work and all that stuff. So let's see. Turn it on. Hopefully we're good to go. Sounds all right. Hopefully everything holds up. Dude, when that clutch engages, it takes off. So the chain just popped off whenever I was riding, and Sammy has to take off right now. I'm gonna go and see if there's an old cart pipe that I have where I can cut down and make a makeshift header for this for now until I can order one, and then I gotta rejet the carburetor. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna work on right now. Try to get one more test ride in before the sun goes down, and we can wrap up this build in this video. So we'll see if we can get it all fixed up, get the chain tension set again. These are the stock chains that come on. These are really stretchy and terrible, so I'm eventually gonna have to buy another chain anyways. But today I'm just trying to make it run as good as possible. So we're gonna go work on the header right now. So for now, we don't have like an actual mini bike header, but took an old header that we weren't gonna use, cut it down, it'll modify, it'll fit on there just right till we get one that'll actually fit on there. Then just gotta rejet the carb, and then the bike's pretty much done. We'll take it for one last test run. The header and the jetting definitely made a huge difference. The bike responds a lot quicker. So thanks for joining in and checking out our build of the Hemi bike. Sammy, like I said, he had to take off, so still thank you to him for spending the day with me and building this thing up. It's going to be a lot of fun. We still need to order the actual parts, get an actual header, things like that for it, but for now you guys get the idea. You see our build, and it was our first time building one of these, so things will get better. Sammy wants to get a mini bike for himself, and we're going to end up building that one. And now we know the things to make our life a little bit easier whenever we're going through that and doing our second build. But for now, this is going to be fun, and we had a good time just building it up. So I just made a new Instagram for the channel. Go check it out at MidpackMania. Give it a follow. I post up pictures on there because I obviously can't put still pictures on the videos really. So go check it out. There's going to be a lot of exclusive pictures, that are content you're only going to see on there. Keep up with us on race day, things like that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and yeah, keep enjoying them. We have our first race of the Hanford season coming up here March 28th. So this was a cool little video to do until then, but check back right after that and we'll have our first race of the summer season coming up then. Thanks for checking out Midpack Mania. Peace.